So we're talking about equity and equality in the workplace. My name is Valerie, and I am a certified internal liberation life and mindset coach for Black and Brown women. And make sure you watch the two videos before this one, day one's video and day two's video, because this video builds off of those other two. So now I want to highlight a particular article that I came across online that does an amazing job of highlighting the differences between equality and equity in the workplace and specific examples. Okay, so the name of the site is In Stride, and the article is 7 exceptional examples of equity in the workplace. And first, I really dig their definitions, and so I'm just gonna, shout them out. So equality, they say, seeks to provide all employees with access to the same resources. Hello, does that sound familiar? Did you watch the other videos from this series? Regardless of the pre-existing barriers that the employees face. This can refer to an equal distribution of money, resources, or opportunity between workers at a similar level. Equality is in many ways a beneficial concept that can push company culture in the right direction. However, it often fails to address problems of underrepresentation or an unfair status quo. And then they say equity is distinct from equality in that it does not provide the same resources and opportunities to everyone. With equity, an organization will recognize that each employee has varying access to resources and privileges. I'm going to say that again. Each employee has various access to resources and privileges, and those with less access may need more support in order to take fair advantage of opportunities within a given company. So here are some examples of how to implement equity in the workplace. Prioritizing wage equity. And specifically what that means, I'm just skimming through, having transparency around wages and openly discussing correlations between employee performance, position, and rate of pay to ensure fair compensation. Another way to implement, ensuring diverse cross-level representation. I've seen this on a personal note where all the white women are doing internal promotions. Meanwhile, there are more than qualified people of color. Or let's look at it from, making visible peoples with disabilities. So are all the leaders able-bodied, or is the organization seeking to promote peoples with a range of abilities? Here's another implementing a workforce education program. Systemic barriers prevent especially BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, although I know that there are some schools of thought that find that term problematic. But for the purposes of this equity versus equality in a nutshell series, we're just going to use the term BIPOC, as well as disabled individuals from accessing education. By investing in a workforce education program, you're providing your marginalized employees. I don't like that word, marginalized. So I'm just going to say providing your employees who come from backgrounds where there has been regular occurrences of oppression. Okay, it's like the systemic oppression, and providing them with a potentially life-changing resource that enables them to advance their careers and grow with the company. So those were 3 ways to implement equity in the workplace. And then here are some examples of equity in the workplace. Making job descriptions accessible. So being transparent around the wage range for different positions, as well as providing a variety of avenues through which talent may access application materials. Like, where are these applications being posted? Are they all being posted in the same place where you're not going to, where a queer person might not go to find a job? Okay, so that's something to keep into consideration. There's hiring based on skills, providing equitable access for all employees, which means physical spaces and materials, considering whether your meeting room is wheelchair friendly. Another one is empowering your employees. That means making sure they know about the resources, know how to access them, and feel comfortable and safe doing so. Okay, this article is incredible, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. So here's what I'm going to say. Check if your personal values align with what the organization that you're working for or working with or for is doing. When you look around, are they implementing? Are there clear examples of this in your workplace? If you are in a leadership position and there aren't clear examples, or you're seeing some issues, are you bringing it up? Especially if you are cishet white able-bodied person. And so therefore, the mindset of the people who are leading the organization is very important. Do they have the mindset of, I prioritize equity. I know why equity is important. I acknowledge that there have been oppressive practices that have led to lots of organizations, the majority of organizations, not doing right by all the people that work at that organization. And if you are at a workplace that is denying that fact, denying that reality, get the up out of there. Come back tomorrow, okay, for day 4, which is going to be our final video in this series, where we're going to talk about the culture of a workplace and what allows a workplace to actually implement equitable practices, or just turn a blind eye and be like, yeah, what we're doing is enough. Okay, stay tuned, come back tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you then.